Hi, gorgeous, and welcome to the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama Show. I am Dorit Palvanov, your host, feminine energy expert, health coach for women, registered holistic nutritionist, and the creator of the groundbreaking health and mindset program for moms, Energized, designed for perimenopausal women who are done having kids and are ready to get their confidence, energy, and sexy back. Ladies, think about it. What would the world look like if, as women, we stopped being so harsh on ourselves and instead felt more energized, powerful, confident, and more connected to our bodies? What if, as women, we honored the fact that we are built and wired differently than men, and being different does not mean being inferior? That the go, go, go mentality, alongside doing more to have more without ever pausing and resting, only leads to chronic stress, anxiety, burnout, overwhelm, lack of joy, and corrodes our health, relationships, and vitality. What if, as women, wives, and mothers, we had the courage and confidence to desire more? More freedom, power, energy, joy, abundance, pleasure, fun, play, and sex, all on our own terms. Mama, you deserve to feel good. You deserve to form healthy relationships, and your body needs, craves, and deserves pleasure. This is your birthright. You're here because you believe in your feminine energy. You're here because you care about health and the environment, and you're not afraid to take action and change. You're here because you don't want to pass on a pattern of self destruction, hiding, and not speaking your truth to your daughters. You're here because you're done feeling stuck, living a mediocre life as a half woman. You're here because you are done struggling and, frankly, can no longer afford to feel like crap. Each week, I will be here for you, dropping a healthy dose of inspiration and motivation, as well as introducing you to my brilliant guests, where we will dive deep into all things womanhood, feminine power, energy, psychology, holistic and alternative health, food, nutrition, hormones, fitness, mindset, motherhood, relationships, sex, business, and much more. So, Mama, are you ready to take back control of your health? Let's do this. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? This is Dorit Palvanov, your host. Welcome to another episode of the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama podcast. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that actually I was struggling with this whole week. Um, and the reason I share this is I know that you struggle with this too. This week has been super challenging for me. A lot of stuff came up. Um, I struggled in my relationship with my partner, with my husband, with my daughters. Um, I also had a fairly emotional encounter with my baby sister. Well, she's not a baby anymore. She's 19 years old, and she's struggling as well to find herself in the world and to decide what she's going to do with schooling and all of that stuff. My mom is also having a hard time. My dad, my grandmother. It was just a very intense week in terms of like family dynamics, family drama. And I felt like it was hard. It was hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was really hard. Um, the hard piece felt, um, okay, let me share this. Where it felt hard, it's not in the dealing with, with stuff, and it's 111 as I record it, so that's alignment, and it's like a I take it as a sign from the universe that what I'm about to share, it's actually helpful, and it's going to serve you. um, so it's not that it was hard to go through this, the those events, or the emotional impact that was left for me. It's not that. It's the bringing myself back every single time. So this week I've experienced multiple panic attacks, heart palpitations, inability to sleep. It's just like my mind was racing. Um, it was just nonstop. And there was so much meanness and so much just crap that came up for me this week. And just now I feel like I'm coming back from it, because I've been using my tools one after another, and that's where I felt so grateful for having these tools in my toolbox to 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 take care of myself. Not only to take care of myself, but also to do this as a form of self-honoring and self-respect. And I talk about this all the time, because I think self-care has been thrown out fairly easily these days, in the health world. And I don't think it's self-care as much as it is self-respect. When we respect ourselves, when we honor ourselves, when we deem ourselves as worthy, and we take action in order to take care of our own needs, then everything changes, everything shifts, right? All of a sudden, that massage that you've been craving and desiring and needing, it actually gets into your to-do list, and somehow you find the funds to pay for it. Or it's that conversation you've been craving to have, or it's the coach that you've been wanting to work with, or it's the hard conversation you need to be having with your partner, or with the friend, or with your mom, or with your sister, or with your brother. It's prioritizing yourself so much that life becomes different. And that's why I highly encourage each and every one of you listening to the show to change your mindset around taking care of yourself. It's not just, of course, yes, it is the food, and it's the nutrition, and it's the hormones, and it's all of those things. Of course, I feel like this is the basic, right? This is where you start. These are the foundations. But then beyond that, it's a whole gamut of rearranging your life in a way that serves you. So today, I hope it's going to be short. I actually don't have a lot of time. I promised my sister to babysit her daughter today. But I wanted to give you a very quick practice. And I am sharing this in spirit of the launch of my brand new project, which I've been talking about, I think last time and the time before that. And it's my membership community. It's the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mamas Inner Circle. It's a month-to-month experience where you're going to be a part of a group of like-minded group of women and wives and mothers who are all healing from burnout, who are all learning how to shift their mentality and their mindset from being a victim and stepping into being a victor. It's stepping into yourself as the person who you are, but never had the courage and confidence to explore. this is the place where you can learn how to become more confident, how to create and how to cultivate and sustain your levels of energy. It's how to live your life passionately, with passion as a woman, wife, and mother. How to shift away from feeling dry and suck dry. It's really important. It's important because this is your one and only life. And it's so often that we go through hard stuff alone, right? We're lacking a village. So many of us are feeling lonely, feeling bored, feeling stuck. And so this membership community is designed for that. And so one of the modules that I have inside of the membership community is called self-parenting and self-mothering. And today I wanted to just give you a little taste of how this work looks and feels like. And hopefully this will give you in this podcast, you've heard me share many, many different tools, but hopefully this one is something you can keep coming back again and again. So it's called self-mothering, self-parenting, and it's important, especially for situations like I've been going through the past week. It's when your mind is racing. It's when, you're having anxiety, panic attacks, you're doubting yourself. It's when you're just super mean to yourself in your head, telling yourself things like you're too old, what's wrong with you? You're never going to be able to do this. You're a loser, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this. So in order to shift away from this, one of the most powerful tools that I've learned, through my own healing and through working with coaches and mentors, there was one tool in particular that worked really well. So basically for this exercise, what you need to find a picture of yourself when you were a young child. So I have in front of me a picture of me when I was 3 years old. By the way, you can see that picture also in my Instagram account. So look me up by @Dorit Palvanov Coaching. And I posted a post about that. And so find a picture of yourself when you were a little girl, and have it handy. Okay. So flip it over so you don't see it, but have it close by, and then take a piece of paper and all the mean things that you have in your head, just write them down. No, don't judge it. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to, word it in a different way, in a nicer way. Just write exactly the things that are racing through your mind when you're going through a hard time. Okay? And once you're complete with this list, what you're going to do is you're going to take this picture of yourself as a little girl. You're going to flip it. You're going to look at her. And you're going to try to say those things to this little girl. And you will see how that feels. I know myself. I just can't. I just can't. I can't. It's looking at yourself as a young, vulnerable, just so gentle, and you just can't, I think the human psyche is built in this way for a reason, because as children are so, that's why I think children are seen as angels and as pure. It's because there's something sacred about being little and being small and being so vulnerable and fragile. Right? And so how is it that when we are older, we talk to ourselves in such a mean and rude and just ruthless way, and yet when we look at ourselves as a little girl, we just can't. We can't. It's just we can't. For me, what happens immediately is I just become so emotional and I just start crying. And that on its own, it's one of those of these embodiment practices that I teach my clients to do to help them like to shift their perspective when they're going through hard times. And it works like magic every single time. And it's important. It's important because we wouldn't dare to speak, like this to our children. So how is it that we allow ourselves to be so, unkind and uncompassionate to ourselves? Why do we have so many expectations of ourselves that we would never have from our children, right? So imagine your child is struggling with something, or they feel stuck with something, or they just need a little more love and gentleness and tenderness, and you're not going to give it to them. It's not going to happen. I mean, I know you would not be listening to the show unless you are a good-hearted, kind, compassionate woman who wants to raise really good kids, and you want to thrive as a woman. You want to become the best version of yourself. So this is a very powerful exercise, and it's one, and what I've just shared with you, this process of self-parenting, self-mothering, it's an extremely powerful tool that that I think you should have and you should know about when you are embarking on a meaningful life. So many women complain to me that they struggle with living life on purpose. And this is how it's done. When you know how to self-parent, how to self-soothe, how to mother yourself, how to speak to yourself kindly, compassionately, gently, how to bring yourself back from the underworld, from feeling really depleted, mostly by yourself, because most of this is self-induced pain, then it's much easier to recover and focus on what is important, right? So many women struggle with, I don't know, maybe it's you. Do you struggle with being present? Do you struggle with feeling joyful? Do you struggle with feeling like you live your life on purpose? Do you struggle to feel alive? Do you struggle in your body? All of those things. It all really begins with this process of self-soothing and self-parenting. And and it's a skill, just like anything else. It's a muscle that you need to be practicing again and again and again. And the more you do it, the better at it you'll become. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to pull yourself out of anxiety, pull yourself out of depression much faster. I remember for me, before I knew all this stuff, and before I learned it, I would spiral down for months and months and months. It would take me 3 to 6 months to recover from really difficult, challenging times in my life. And now it's maybe 24 hours. And so that's how powerful it is, because time is precious. And I do not want you to waste any more time feeling like half a person or like a half woman. This process, this stuff, nobody can do for you. I mean, unless you are loaded with money and you have a therapist who lives with you, which I know I don't have. Even though I believe in therapy, I believe in coaching, I believe in getting and asking help. But let's face it, let's be honest. This for the majority of us, it's not the case. And so it's really important to learn these tools and to use them whenever life happens. And life will happen. It happens to all of us, right? It's not like that's what I mean when I say we don't live in a vacuum. right? We have our environment that affects us. The way we eat affects us. The energy levels that we surround, the people that we surround ourselves with, all of this stuff affects us. And so we do not live in a void. We do not live in a vacuum. And it's important to strengthen yourself, to build your level of resilience so that you can respond to life in a much in a way that feels confident and fierce, as opposed to weak and fragile. There is something I teach my girls all the time, and it's girl, and I tell them this all the time. Girls, remember, you are eagles, not chickens. So in any point, of your life, in any struggle, in any event that happens, any encounter, whether it's with your teachers, with your friends, with your parents, whoever, ask yourself this question. And I really work hard to ingrain this in their minds, and hopefully it's working. I think it is. Ask yourself, am I showing up as a chicken or as an eagle? Is this going to strengthen me? Am I going to grow from this? Or am I just going to remain fragile and vulnerable and, allow myself to slip down and become, and stay in the same place as opposed to growing? And it's hard. Sometimes, you know what? Let me tell you the truth. Sometimes you will choose to be a chicken. But the point is that it's okay to stay fragile and vulnerable for a little bit of time, but not stay there too long, right? The point of life is to grow. So that's what I have for you today. Try out this exercise. Like I said, find a picture, write out all those mean things that you want to say to yourself, that you say to yourself subconsciously, and then try to say it to this little girl. And then what you want to do is you want to reparent yourself. So that is basically the way this is done. Is it's like, to make it really simple, it's basically the way you would speak to your child when he or she are going through a hard time. So for example, something for me this week, the way I spoke to myself was, "Oh honey, of course, I know, of course you're struggling, of course it's hard, I know it's hard. It's been so long since you've done something for yourself. It's been so long since you've done something that sparks joy for you. It's been so long since somebody caressed you and held you and gave you, loving touch. It's been so long since you felt really happy and really proud of yourself, and it's okay, and I understand, and it takes time, and it just takes some time. So please be trusting and trust that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay." So that's the, I don't know, maybe you can use that as a script, but the point is that I know that it's possible for you to self-soothe and to bring yourself back from, feeling out of alignment back into feeling aligned. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried it and how it worked. You can find me on Facebook by Dorit Palvanov, or you can find me over at Instagram at Dorit Palvanov Coaching. And yeah, I'm going to remind you again that the membership community, the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mamas Inner Circle, is open for enrollment. I actually have a sign up page ready, so you don't have to. I know last week I said that you have to apply, so you don't have to do that anymore. What you can do is just head on over to doritpalvanov.com. So Dorit is spelled as Dorit Palvanov, PALVANOV.com/membership. So MEMBERSHIP, membership. And you will see all the information, all the topics that we're going to be covering together. I mean, it's not all, it's partial, because a membership community is something that will keep adding on to. So every month I'm going to be releasing a new topic, a new theme, new exercises, we're going to also be doing some meditation, guided meditations, PDFs, where I'm going to be providing you with worksheets and exercises like I shared today. I'm going to include there as well. And this is, like I said, this is your place to learn how to become a more confident, a more energized, and a passionate woman, wife, and mother. The price for this membership community is only $37 a month. This is a price. This is how much you would pay for coffee for the whole month. This is, I think it's even a fraction of what you would pay for lunch or dinner. If you go out with your partner or with your kids, I think this is a great investment in yourself. Like I said, think about it. How often do we as women go through hard stuff alone without having, a village or a community, without having someone who we can just ask, what should I do in this situation? What should I do? How should I respond in so case? And life is dynamic. Life, it's evolving and it's changing all the time, right? So think about it. I hope that you will give yourself a chance to try. Like I said in previous podcasts, this membership community doesn't have any contracts. There are no commitments. You can cancel your membership at any time, but I promise you won't, because you will. My goal, my intention for this membership is to really help you to feel supported. This is my number one. I want you to feel like you are part of a community of women who understand how you feel. I want you to know and feel supported by me. I want to give you the space to be coached on our live sessions. I want you to have a space where you can ask me questions, where you can come to me whenever you are feeling like you're burning out, feeling rushed, unhappy, like this negativity is creeping up, like when you're feeling anxious, when you're going through a health crisis, whenever you feel out of alignment inside of your body, this is a place for you. And especially when you're raising little kids, it happens often, right? I know for me it does. There's something about motherhood that just puts the sense of urgency on everything that you do. So that's that. Let me talk to you a little bit about what topics I have already in store. So the first topics are going from self-care to self-respect, understanding your hormones, learning how to develop healthy eating habits. I'm obviously going to be teaching you about the feminine current. I'm going to be covering self-parenting, conscious parenting, how to live your life with purpose. We're going to be talking about sexuality and sensuality. I'm going to teach you how to help your partner to understand you better. We're going to be talking about money, about how to create more money, how to feel worthy of more money, how to make friends as an adult woman, how to birth in a way that will help you to feel connected to yourself and to your baby. We're going to be talking about birth stories and how you birth is how you live, love, work, and parent. There's so much that is intertwined in birth. And so many other topics that I just cannot wait to share with you. And the way it's going to work is once a month. For me right now, I'm planning on the first Tuesday of every month, where we're going to have a private secret Facebook group, and I will be coming live into the group where I will be doing some teaching. So maybe 20 minutes of teaching of each topic, and then I will be opening the floor for coaching. So if you need some help, if you need to get unstuck, if you need some kick in the butt to to reframe yourself or to change your mindset around something, then this is where you can get that kind of support. Of course, this is first come first serve. For that kind of membership community and for that kind of money, I also don't have a lot of time to give, and so I'm also going to allow you ladies, if you need more support, you can always reach out to me, outside of the membership community. That's also available for you. But my intention and goal for this membership community is to help, to support you, is to help, to be there for you as someone who is maybe 5 years ahead of you in this journey. I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars and hours into my own healing and transformation, and I'm super proud that I did, because my life is completely different today than what it used to be 5 years ago. So hopefully this serves you. Of course, I'm also going to be including PDFs where you can print them off with exercises. They're not going to be, school type exercises when it's going to be loaded with like 20 questions. No, maybe a question or two just to get you started, just to get you journaling, just to get you to practice self-parenting, practice self-soothing and self-mothering. So all of this stuff is included in the $37 per month. It's a monthly membership community. It's ongoing. So as long as you're with us, as long as you're with me, you're going to be a part of it. But the moment you feel like, you're good, you've mastered whatever you needed to master, and you're ready to move on to the next thing, you can always let me know, and I'm not going to be charging you for the next month. So no commitments, no no contracts, nothing like that. So this is the membership community. Like I said, if you are ready to join, our first session begins on December the 3rd. So if you're listening in real time, December the 3rd, 2019, it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're ready to join for the first session, the first topic is going to be going from self-care into self-respect. It's a super important topic that I'm going to begin with. I'm going to be giving you a very powerful journaling exercise that will help you to prioritize yourself every single time. So like I said, if you want and you're ready to join us, head on over to my website, doritpalvanov.com, doritpalvanov.com/membership. And then there are multiple places where you can click on the Join Now button, complete the payment, and then you're in. All right, so I hope it helps. Use the exercise that I talked about today. Let me know how it goes, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Wait, before you go, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you did, I want to know about it. So snap a picture of you listening to this episode and share it on Instagram or Facebook. On Instagram, you can tag me at Dorit Palvanov Coaching. So Dorit is spelled as Dorit, and Palvanov spelled as Palvanov Coaching. So it's all one word. Or you can use the hashtag Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama Podcast. You see, my personal goal beyond having amazing conversations with guests or hosting solo episodes is to increase the visibility for this platform and these messages to be shared and heard by women who need it the most. And there's no way that I can do this on my own. So I'm asking you, the incredible community of confident, energized, and sexy mamas, to help me with this goal. So, whether you're coming to me through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you're listening to the show from, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show. This would mean the world to me, and it's so helpful for other mothers who are looking for this information. So, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.